Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cropper here. I would like to show you some of the books that I've received in a very generous donation from Snuffydoug. As he says on my page, the package is on its way and it has arrived. Harry the Horse, The Last Cowboys. Judy Moody was in a mood, not a good mood, a bad mood. Here's a good looking one. Voyage on the Great Titanic, Dear America, The Diary of Margaret Ann Brady by R.M.J. Titanic. Told Under the Green Umbrella, Association for Childhood Education. That might be an interesting one if it's old enough. 1930. Should be just fine. The Dreams of Mara Mihan, a novel of the Civil War. How the Mouse Deer Became King by Margaret Harmon Brough. Just a Few Words, Mr. Lincoln, The Story of the Gettysburg Address by Jean Fritz. Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. An Orphan Lost and Found, an especially adapted version by Marion Layton. So a children's version of the great novel. Mince Pie and Mistletoe by Phyllis McGinley. Early Sunday Morning, The Pearl Harbor Diary of Amber Willows, Hawaii, 1941. Rent-A-Genius, Gillian Cross. Stuart Little by E.B. White. Abe Lincoln Goes to Washington, 1837-1865. Good old Abe. He is so hated by libertarians. I don't get that. Plesiosaurus. Christopher Columbus by David Goodnow. A picture book of Robert E. Lee. Interesting, some historical children's books. The BBC Book of Dinosaurs by Paul Appleby. That's one really good way to get a kid interested in science, is to tell him about dinosaurs. The Nystrom Desk Atlas. Ripley's Believe It or Not Encyclopedia of the Bizarre. I don't know how academically useful that is, but you know, it's like trivia. You pick up general trivia from it. It never does you harm to pick up extra information, that's for sure. Prehistoric Life. Understand and Identify Fossils. Simon & Schuster Young Books, with no particular author, I guess. All written by Dougal Dixon. Which Way to the Revolution? A book about maps by Bob Barner. The Kitchen Knight, a tale of King Arthur retold by Margaret Hodges and illustrated by Tina Schart-Hyman. Wonderful You series, The Mind. Slim Goodbody, star of children's public television, illustrated by Terry Bowles. The Beast in the Bathtub, story by Kathleen Stevens, illustrated by Ray Bowler. Now You Know, question and answer book, answers to children's most asked questions about nature, animals, how things work, the human body, and more. This has got nice, interesting, colorful pictures to look at. You could take a young kid and teach him quite a bit of stuff. Trivia, just go through it for a few minutes, not as an academic exercise, but just as fun. That's reading time or whatever, you know. And the last three we have are big ones. The Giant Book of Questions and Answers, more than 1,000 questions and answers to things you want to know. 365 things to make and do. Children's First Encyclopedia, this is the one I'm really excited about. Perfect reference for young children. Projects throughout vocabulary, help on every topic, more than 1,000 illustrations and photographs, and questions to test understanding. Electricity, computers, TV and radio, flowers, the heart and blood, breathing, smell and taste. I guess it's organized chapter by chapter then, because that wasn't alphabetical. So, thank you to Snuffydoug for the books there. I'll be expanding the collection further in the future, but now there's a few things off the list that I won't have to get. Now, Snuffydoug has requested or recommended a History of America, or a series on American history, which will be coming up I'm going to be starting off early in America's history with Benjamin Franklin. But I'm not going to go back as early as, the Mayflower or even Columbus and all that. I might spend 2 minutes mentioning that, just to give perspective of time. But I'm going to start with Benjamin Franklin and go from there, because the story of America isn't necessarily the story from Columbus forward. The story of America that I would like to concentrate on is the story of the United States of America, which will start in 1705 with the birth of Benjamin Franklin. So watch for that series coming up, and go look into Benjamin Franklin's autobiography. It's short, it's only 70 or 80 pages or something like that. Go look into that in the meantime if you're interested in doing a little homework beforehand.